All right, what's up, you guys? Molly Van Marth here, and today I've got my client Daniel with us. I wanted Daniel to come on and share a little bit about him. I want you guys to hear about his lifestyle, some of his story, what he's doing now, and then also wanted him to share part of what his experience has been like being in the program. We set up a custom plan for him and walked him through my process, and he's done a really good job. Daniel, do you remember how many pounds you lost between?
I'm right at 40. Call it 40. I'm staying consistently at 40 pounds of a loss.
Yeah, and I'll put up a progress picture just so people can see what we're talking about, because not only has Daniel lost a ton of body fat, but he's also gained lean muscle. So that's when people are going for the drastic visual changes, that's what you want to do. And so that's the program we put you on, and you've done a really good job of it. Also important to note that his program is over and Daniel's been going on his own for a while now. So people also, I think, are curious sometimes, like, okay, while I'm in the program, while I'm working with you, cool, I'll make progress, but what happens afterwards? Like, is this something that's going to stick? Because that's what makes the difference between a good investment and bad investment, right? Because I think people invest all the time in things that don't stick with fitness. Yeah. And the whole goal of it is for me to turn you into the expert so that you can run it yourself. But yeah, give us a little background on who are you? You know, tell us about your lifestyle, because that's important too. Give us a little background on you.
I'm Daniel, and I guess you could say that I was an accountant so I guess I'm an accountant by trade, but I got into the entrepreneurial route several years ago. Started a company, was able to grow it, and then, got out of that, grow it. And then at that point it became no longer kind of entrepreneurial, and I was ready to get out. But I guess during that time, I sort of developed, I always had bad habits or whatever. And then sooner or later over time, there were just bad habits and no good habits. And so, I don't know, over time, just into adulthood, having kids, I just kind of slipped, even though working out, looking good, or being fit was important to me, I wasn't really living a life that was conducive or congruent, falling into alcoholism. Pretty much was drinking every single day. And then before I met you, I had been a couple of months sober. And I would say really sober, not just clean, but actually legitimately sober, which there's a difference. And then it was, okay, so now that I've kicked the alcohol habit, it's time to get back into what I really, really enjoy doing, and that's staying in really good shape. And so that's when I ultimately ended up meeting you. I knew that we were going to open this gym. It's Hay Street Fitness. It's at 1613 Hay Street. And, I wanted to make sure that I was in really good shape for that, because I've always enjoyed being in good shape, and always enjoyed exercise. And it's, just kind of what I wanted to do. So the benefit for me primarily is to look good. And I don't think there's anything vain or narcissist about that. I think it's anybody that says that is absurd. It's just absurd that it's very normal to want to look good. Yeah. But then there's other benefits. Oh yeah, not to mention I feel good every single day because I'm moving around or I'm doing stuff, and I'm, and I'm healthy if I'm watching what I'm eating, and who knows, I may be able to run up a flight of stairs faster than you if I have to. Bears chasing us, I think I'll live or something like that. I don't know.
No, that's good. I think you're right. I like that you just came out and said it, because sometimes people are afraid to be like, I want to look good. Yeah, but
it's nothing wrong with that.
I know. And, life is holistic, right? So it's going to be hard to be out of shape, but simultaneously someone who really does a good job in every other area of life, so I support that. I think it's a big deal for people to be able to have what they look like physically match up with their identity and how they operate in the rest of life. One of the things I remember when you came to me was you were eating extremely clean, so clean that I was like, this isn't sustainable. So actually one of the things, do you remember one of the treats? What's your treat of choice?
A Sonic Blast. I get a Sonic Blast with Reese's cookie dough, chocolate syrup, and Oreo cookies, and hot fudge.
Yeah.
If it doesn't have chocolate, it's not dessert.
It doesn't count. Right. And that's not a diet drink, and as silly as that sounds,
I still get those every other day. I still get a Sonic Blast every other day.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's, I think, important to note too, because most people that I talk to have actually seen results. It's just that they've seen results from diets or workout routines that are not sustainable. So not only have you been able to get the results you've gotten, but you've done it in the context of having kids and a family and running businesses, right? And you can also still enjoy the foods that you love. And that's one of the things that's going to make this stick long term.
And it really is. I think that's why part of why I started to like falter for a long time. It was like there's so many different crap philosophies out there that don't make any sense. And it's just that was another thing I learned too. It's like what time you eat doesn't matter either. Like that was another thing that trumped me up for a long time. Like people were like, oh, well, you shouldn't eat after 8 o'clock because you're gonna fall asleep and your body's not gonna metabolize it as fast and then store it.
It was just good to see us like be able to set your personal nutrition targets, tell you what those are. Cause again, I think that's where what people don't understand is like, what do I need to aim to hit? Like what actually matters, right? Because people will cut out carbs, they'll cut out fats, they'll cut out meat, they'll cut out their favorite things. And then they still don't lose weight. And that's the worst thing. So does it require discipline? Yeah. However, when you know what your nutrition targets are that you need to stay between the lines of, you have more flexibility than if you're just running around in the dark trying to cut calories as hard as you can or cut out random foods and you don't even know if that's helping you or not.
Yeah. And what I liked about the program is that there was a clear path of how to do it. And then the taking the picture was important to me because I do this primarily because I want to look good. And the weight is a numerical figure of that, but I want to see the changes in there, and the pictures helped with that a lot. I don't know. I learned a lot about, what works and what doesn't work. And unfortunately, there's a lot of stuff out there that just doesn't work that unfortunately people believe. And it's just,
Why go with something like this, what we set up for you, as opposed to something more generic? Because a lot of people, I've worked with a nutritionist, I've worked with an in-person trainer, it just didn't work for me.
Because it's data driven and it uses technology to be able to track that data. Mm-hmm. And so it doesn't matter where you are. If you go, you've got all this stuff on the phone. And so you can just do it wherever you go. It's extreme. The tools are right at your hand. The tools are right there for you to be able to do it. If you just do it and you do it every day, take it one day at a time, and you hit those metrics, and you know that you're hitting those metrics, and you're not cheating, because you can be like, oh well, I snuck a bowl of cereal, but I didn't log it. Well, you sneak a bowl of cereal every day for 2 months, and you don't log it, then you didn't really get a deficit. And so I don't know. It works it works if you work it. You just do it.
Definitely, yeah. And those are good points. You got to be somebody who is willing to learn. You have to be willing to communicate too, because it's a mentorship, right? It's not like I'm just tossing you your program and then I'm like, good luck. We reevaluate, we reassess, and we tweak and we adjust. What would you say to somebody, if they were on the fence with okay, I feel like this may be for me. I'm wanting to, look better, feel better, wanting to hit some serious health and fitness goals this year. Do you feel like it's worth it?
I think it is worth it for me. It's 100% worth it, because I know that I'm going to do this for a long time. And unless I wake up one day and start not doing it, it'll be because something's going on here in the mind and the spirit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, at the end of the day, if you don't have your health, you really don't have anything. And that's what I've learned throughout all this experience, this whole entire experience. It's if you don't have your physical and mental health, then it doesn't really matter what you have. And so it's absolutely is worth it.
Yeah. That's good.
So
cool. Well, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for sharing. And
I always enjoy our banter. I always enjoy it messing with it. So it's I don't know, because it works. You gave me the stuff and I was like, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it 130%, because I don't know, when you're done, you're done. When you're done being unhealthy, you're just done. And so that's it, no more. And
I was going to say, you came in with the right mindset. You came in with the right mindset, the right attitude. You're someone who's able to communicate. So when it was important, you used the communication and you asked the questions you needed answered. And I think that's sometimes the biggest thing for people, is just to be able to ask the questions that they have and get not just an answer, but an accurate answer that's actually going to help them see results. And so you used it the way you needed.
You made a good point there. The accurate answer, not the answer that, people that's popular.
Exactly. Well, well, way to go. Again, proud of you. You've done a really good job. It's obvious, and I'm sure that you will continue on, but thanks so much for sharing.